Welcome back guys, Alex here with another video. This is my NES pickups video, which I've been promising now for a few weeks. It's just that a lot of the games have come from the USA and some still haven't turned up. It's been, what, 6 weeks now? I'm still waiting for 6 games from the USA. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to email him later and just say, let's just forget about it, just give me my money back, because I don't know how he's getting them over here, by a bloody pigeon or something. It's just ridiculous. 6 weeks, but he keeps saying, I've sent them, they're on their way. And it's like, he seems genuine enough, but no one waits 6 weeks for games from the USA, do they? Maybe an arcade machine, but not NES games. So I'm going to text him later and just say, look, just forget about it. Give me your money back. But I've got a ton here to show you. And it's funny, you know, guys, I've got no nostalgia for NES, you know, about that sort of era when most people were probably playing the NES. I was into my Sinclair Spectrum, and then literally from there I jumped straight onto the Super Nintendo and totally bypassed the NES. But, you know, since I've been collecting Nintendo games now for a good 10 years, especially, I've delved into the NES library. And there's some fantastic games, there really is. But, you know, that's Defender, by the way. That's Defender 2 for the NES with Punch-Out themed music, which is really strange. I think it's done by HAL Laboratories, which did do Punch-Out, but I don't know why they used the music from Punch-Out in Defender. It's really strange. Defender is a really cool game on the NES. It's got all the sounds. We're playing Punch-Out. Sort of Star Warsy theme there as well, but yeah, it is super cool, and I love Defender. I love these type of games. It's really, really awesome. So if you haven't picked this up, guys, it's a must. You'd think it would be an impossible game to play, because the arcade has got, what, I don't know, 6 buttons, something like that, and a joystick. But it works. It really does work. Hyperspace. Yeah, I love it. It's a great little game, but we'll turn that down and get back to where we were. So yeah, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for NES, but as I say, there's some really cool games I'm just discovering now for the first time. And some of them are in this pickup pile I'm about to show you. But of late, I haven't been playing any modern games. I've kind of lost that whole constant flow of rubbish, I think. It's a lot of rubbish, especially on the Switch, to be honest with you. I just find all the games, same old engine, same old mechanics, just with a different skin, and it just bores the hell out of me. And there's no atmosphere in the games, and I just don't like a lot of the art style. I really don't. I'm not cutting new games completely, because I know there will be a few that I will like, you know. But as far as I'm concerned, I haven't picked up the Switch in a long time, guys. I've just been playing retro, and for me, there's such a huge library of cool games yet to be played, yet to be explored. I'm having more fun doing that right now, especially playing them as well with the SNES Challenge. And of course starting a Mega Drive collection. That's it, man, I'm sorted. And love them arcade stuff as well, which I really want to do more arcade vids. Again, I'm just waiting for my setup and I can show it all off to you, because I've got some really cool games to show you. But let's just get on with the NES stuff, because that's what this video is all about. So my first bunch of games are from a good friend of mine, and I don't mean that lightly. He's an awesome, awesome guy. Ben 76, he's on the forum, UK VAC, lovely, lovely guy. He did me this awesome deal of games, and I can't remember what I paid for them, but it wasn't a lot, and they're all fantastic. Ben, thanks for sorting me that out. Games here, some I've played, some I haven't. So, and what I'm going for, guys, before I get into the pickups, is I want 100 of my favourite NES games, and I want to stop there really. So what I'm going to do, as I pick new games up and discover new games, I'm going to have to, if I've got 100 games already in the collection, I'm going to have to get rid of one to put a new one in. And I might do a video on that actually, you know, keep or sell. So that as I pick them up, we'll have to do sort of like a game off where we decide, you know, which game's better, which one's worth keeping and which one's not. So yeah, I don't really want to get more than 100 NES games because, you know, the 16-bit's really my thing, but I do like, I mean, there's probably good 100 NES games worth having anyway, but probably not the list that most people aspire to. This is going to be my own top 100. So starting off with WrestleMania Steel Cage. This is from Ben. I do like my wrestling games, but again, I think it's probably better on the Super Nintendo, to be honest with you. But still, I'm going to try it out and see what it's like, because I do like my wrestling games. Next up is Dragon Ninja. I haven't played this yet. I think it's probably like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, is it? Like Double Dragon? Going on the box art. Again, I'm only collecting loose guys as well. I'm not bothered with it if it's got the manual or the box. I've gone down that road before, and it's impossible to find really good box NES games without having to pay a fortune. And I don't really want to focus my money on a system that I don't have a lot of nostalgia with. I'd rather spend and save my money for a nice box Super Nintendo game. So loose carts is fine with me. So that's what I'm going for. We've got next RoboCop by Ocean. I'm not sure what this is about. I imagine it's just a run and gun game, is it? But never played it. Boulder Dash, which I had on the Sinclair Spectrum. This is a fantastic game, and I have played a little bit of this, and it works absolutely fine. It's really, really cool. Simple game, a little bit like Mr. Do or Dig Dug, that kind of style, where, you know, you've got the blocks and you tunnel under the blocks and they fall down on top of the enemies. It's a really, really cool game. So that, I know, is definitely going to be a keeper. And this next game is definitely going to be a keeper as well. It's Bubble Bobble, and this plays perfectly. It's an excellent arcade conversion onto the NES. And that's really what I'm going for as well, is arcade conversions, action games, shoot 'em ups, all those kind of things. Quick pick up and play type games. I'm not interested in RPGs and stuff like that. So yeah, this is really, really cool. Again, another arcade conversion, Trog. If you've never played this in the arcades, I think Andy Palmer's got one at the arcade club. It's quite a rare cab. It's a 4-player game, and it's like a Pac-Man sort of maze where you control dinosaurs and you just sort of go around munching up all the grass or whatever it's there, and the first one or to eat it all gets off the level. It's such a really cool 4-player game, especially in the arcades. If you're ever at the arcade club, check out Trog. It's really cool. I guess this is 2-player on the NES. It might have a multi-tap for it, I'm not sure, but it's really, really cool. Love Trog. Another arcade conversion, Rolling Thunder. This is a Tengen game. Weird shaped carts, which are an absolute nightmare to store on your shelves. Real pain in the arse. And guys, I've got these plastic protectors here. I doubt this is going to fit in there. Oh, it does. Excellent. But you can't see the label at the end, which is a real pain in the arse. If you've got, 10 of these type of games, you've got to pull them right out, which is a shame. But still, nice to get that in the collection. That plays really well, actually, Rolling Thunder. I do like Rolling Thunder. Another arcade game, Gauntlet. We all played Gauntlet. Bit like Trog, it's that kind of top-down maze game, 4-player. Absolutely awesome arcade game when it's come out. I remember playing Gauntlet on the Isle of Wight at Ventnor for the first time. We did a school trip there, and all of us were into Dungeons and Dragons, and we were just on this game constantly fixed to it. It's absolutely awesome. I don't know, it's a little bit hard to go back to now, but it just brings so much nostalgia, Gauntlet. I absolutely love it, and it's best played with 4 players. Really, really cool. I think Andy's got one of these at Arcade Club as well. Next up is Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, which again is an arcade game, but I'm not sure if this is a conversion, a port of that game. I'm not sure, because I know the Super Nintendo game isn't, but still nice to get. Cool artwork, cool film. We'll remember that, don't we? And another Tengen game, Super Sprint. I've been playing this a lot. Absolutely love these top-down racing games. A lot of fun, especially the arcade ones as well, when you've got 3 steering wheels and you're spinning around really quickly to get around the corner. Such a fantastic game. My good friend Rich, who is the world champion at Championship Sprint, he would absolutely love this. I know he would. I need to do a game room tour of his place because he is so cool. So yeah, that was it from Ben76. So thanks for that, mate. Really appreciate that. Nice to have them in the collection. Next up is just all eBay stuff. Various eBay sellers, job lots, and because this has been going on for a few months, I've been picking these up. I can't remember what lot came with, what games come with which lot, so I'm just going to show you them as they are piled up here. Wizard and Warriors, which I know a lot of people like this game. It's held quite highly as a good game, sort of a platform with RPG elements to it. I did give it a go. I did find it a little bit slow, to be honest with you. I'm not sure about it. I have to give it a little bit more time, but it's got some cool car art on there. Look at that. So cool. By Acclaim, that one. So yeah, maybe I should give that a little bit more time. Here's a classic. Ghosts and Goblins for the NES. This has got to be harder than the Super Nintendo one. It's got to be. I haven't played this yet, but I bet it is. If any of you guys have played this, just tell me, is this harder? It looks harder. But such a cool game. And look at that artwork, guys. So cool. So yeah, really nice to have that in the collection. Again, a lot of these games are a mixture between PAL A and US, because I've had my NES modded to play both regions, so I'm not really bothered which region they come from. Another cool arcade port, Q*bert. I don't know if you've ever played on the original arcade machine. It's an absolute joy to play. It is really meant for the arcades, because the joysticks set at a slight angle so you can get the angles on the pyramid, and it just feels so much easier to play. Playing this on the D-pad, you tend to sort of turn the controller on its side a little bit to get the angle right. Otherwise it takes a little while to get used to. And of course the arcade game had a knocker in it as well. And if you're at Revival this weekend, Vic's going to bring his Q*bert Isis cab along, and you'll be able to play it and listen out for the little knocker. It's so cool. Revival, guys, I haven't mentioned Revival. We'll do that at the end. Captain Skyhawk, this was a recommendation from Retro Dave Nintendo. Didn't know anything about this until I saw him playing it in his Play Choice 10, and it looked really, really cool. And I have played it, Dave. It's an awesome game. Really, really like it, and a cheap one to pick up as well. You know, it's just like it's kind of an isometric shooter. It reminded me a little bit of TLL on the Sinclair Spectrum. Do you remember TLL? Next game is Rainbow Islands. Not a big fan of Rainbow Islands, but a pretty game. A nice little game to just pick up and play now and again. And here's a classic, guys. Another classic arcade game. Kung Fu, or Kung Fu Master as it is known in the arcades. This is a brilliant game. I used to be able to finish this back in the day. I've struggled to do it now. Maybe I'll just give it a little bit more time. Maybe I need a competition for this game because it is awesome. I remember this game in my local arcade, the Joke Shop, Razzle in Twickenham, and it used to be next to My Rescue, and it used to be next to iRobot, and I absolutely loved Kung Fu Master. Really the first side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it's still great to play today. So fantastic, and that's just a great NES conversion. It really is. Akari Warriors, another arcade port to the NES. Haven't played this one yet, but I do like the arcade game. Fantastic to have this in the collection. All in good nick, these guys. There's no damage to these at all. Solstice. Solstice, I'm sure this it's by the same guys that did Night Law and all those kind of early isometric games by Ultimate Play the Game. But it doesn't play that well on the NES. I don't know, it's a little bit fiddly for my liking. I'd rather go back and play Night Law or Underworld on the Sinclair Spectrum than this, to be honest with you. Kings of the Beach is a really cool and fun beach ball game. I do like, they're quite simple to pick up and play with a mate. It's really cool actually. I've read or saw lots of YouTube videos on this before I picked it up, and they all gave it good reviews, so I'm really happy to have this in the collection. Battletoads is one that Dave will like. Battletoads on the NES. I think this just came in the bundle. I wouldn't go for this game normally because I've got no nostalgia for any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle rubbish. They all need shooting. They all need blowing up by Contra. The guys from Contra. They're rubbish. But yeah, I'll give it a go, see what it's like. I don't know what it is like. What is it? Beat 'em up? I don't know. Look at the characters. They just look so off. Great big grin on him. Yeah, I don't know. Don't get it. Really don't get that. Next up is such a cool game, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Abadox. Is that how you pronounce it? Have you ever heard of this one, guys? This is an awesome, awesome side-scrolling shoot 'em up. We're going to stick it in the old machine and show you, because this is cool. I was totally blown away by this. What I did, basically, is I just went on the internet and, oops, not going in. And just typed in shoot 'em ups for the NES and just went through the whole list on YouTube and just see what I fancied. This one came up, it's quite cheap on eBay, and it's got so much atmosphere, guys, honestly. Listen to this. I love games with atmosphere, especially space sort of shoot 'em ups. Abadox. It's just a really cool shoot 'em up. Some really weird enemies in it. Very creative. You know, floating eyes. Everyone likes a floating eye attacking you, and floating jaws. You know, loads of power-ups. It's a really cool shoot 'em up. Bats, we all hate bats in games, don't we? Yeah, so it's a really cool side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Great sound, good graphics, and some cool end-of-level bosses. So we'll just let that run. So I've been playing that one a lot. That is cool. So that is Abadox. I think that's how you pronounce it. Really, really cool game. Fernando. I've heard this got great reviews, but I don't know. It looks like an RPG. Probably won't stay in the collection very long, to be honest with you, because I ain't got the time for it. And next up is a game that's actually on the Super Nintendo. I'm surprised this is on the NES actually. This is Jurassic Park. I thought the NES was a little bit early for that film when that film came out. But I've played a little bit. It plays alright actually. It plays very similar to the Super Nintendo version. And yeah, it's just quite a nice little walk around shoot 'em up kind of thing, you know. Jurassic Park by Ocean. Oh guys, this next game, this is a really cool one. Action in New York. You played this one? This is cool. This is a really cool, I guess it is a multi-directional shooter, because you sort of go across, then down, you shoot left and right, up and down. And it reminds me a lot of Forgotten Worlds, because you can move your gun all around you, or position it where you want and hold it there, which is a really cool mechanic. I quite like that. So yeah, this is really cool. Action in New York. Really cool game. That came all the way over from America. Next up is Tiger Heli. And unfortunately this card doesn't work. I was absolutely gutted. I've given it an absolute clean with cotton buds and, you know, every solution known to man, acid, everything. It won't clean, it won't play. I'm absolutely gutted. I was really looking forward to that. It's a great arcade conversion. And the same again with this game. Love this game. It's a game by Williams. They did Robotron and Bubbles and Defender. It is Joust, and it plays really well on the NES, but unfortunately, again, it doesn't work, and I've given this proper clean, guys. It just will not work, unfortunately. Really gutted with that one. Next up, into the next bundle. Game after game after game. This game has been on my radar for quite a while, because I do like my turn-based strategy games. And if they're quite simple, I don't mind putting the time into it. And this is North and South. Yeah, so it's a bit controversial with the old what do you call it? The flag. The American flag, not the American flag, the other, I'm thinking Dukes of Hazzard, but I can't remember the name of the flag. You American watchers are going to hate me for this. It's basically to do with the Civil War in America. Confederate flag, there we go, I got it in the end. So yes, you've got all that going on, Civil War in America. It's a really cool turn-based strategy game for the NES, and I absolutely love it. It's really cool. Oh, there they all go, all over the floors, piling them up this high, and I knew they were going to go eventually. Next up is another arcade conversion, Rygar. Not a big fan of Rygar, to be honest with you. I find it a little bit clunky. It's alright. I think there were better games around at that time, to be honest with you, but it's still, it's not a bad arcade port onto the NES. Skate or Die. Really common game, and I think a lot of people quite like it. I haven't played this yet, to be honest with you. It's not like 720, is it? I don't think so. It doesn't play like at all. But I've heard it's good. It came with a job lot, so that's cool. Don't know where it'll stay though, guys. Next up is Monster in My Pocket. Don't know anything about this game. Love the artwork. Look at the cool artwork. But yeah, don't know anything about it. I think it could be a platform game. I'm not sure. Here's another one for Retro Dave Nintendo. The Simpsons. Bart versus the Space Mutants. He loves all this stuff, don't you, Dave? Hey? Is it any good, Dave? I don't know. I don't think it'd be my cup of tea. It might have a good gameplay. I don't know. Don't know anything about it. But again, it came in a job lot, so, and it's by Acclaim, so I've got to give it a go. And next up is a game that I absolutely love on the Super Nintendo. I think it's one of the fantastic games, and I own the first one. I'm still looking for Turrican 2. It is Turrican. It is called Super Turrican on the NES as well. Very confusing. It's exactly the same name it is on the Super Nintendo. I have played this. It is rock hard. You can only shoot horizontally, which is an absolute bugger. You know, on the Super Nintendo version, you can shoot all the way around, 360. So you know, you've got enemies that are a little bit high, and you've got to jump to shoot them, which I find a little bit difficult to get used to. But still, it's Turrican. It's still a very good game. Next up is one I've never heard of before, Alpha Mission by SNK. Really cool shoot 'em up, guys. Reminds me a little bit of Star Force. You've got, you know, or Exevius. You've got the bomb. Got, you know, shooting forward, shooting up buildings, get power-ups, and you can also change your power-ups around for the end of level boss, which is really, really cool. So yeah, Alpha Mission. Look out for this one, guys. It's quite unusual. And yeah, quite different, quite liked it. Next up is an absolute classic, Blaster Master, which I think got a release on the Switch and a sequel. This is a really cool game, guys. Got to put a little bit more time into it. It's a little bit sort of more like Metroid, you know, different paths to go on, upgrades. You can get out your tank, your vehicle, and wander around as a little person. Get back in and explore the levels in many different ways. It is a really cool game. Really chuffed to get this in the collection. And last, not least, is Dino Ricky. Never heard of this one either. A little bit slow to start off with. Very difficult. It is a vertical shoot 'em up. loads of power-ups, and you've got a jump button as well, so you sort of jump over sort of vistas and little areas that you can't normally get across unless you jump. But yeah, it's not a bad little shoot 'em up. You've got to give it more time though, so I'm not sure where it's staying in the collection, but I like it. It's a cutie little vertical shoot 'em up. So yeah, that's it. That is all my NES pickups over the last 3 months. Definitely be picking up more, but don't know if I'll be going for bundles. I'm going to be a little bit more specific on what I pick up, because I've pretty much got 100 NES games, and they're all in these lovely cases, tucked away, and they fit perfectly on this shelf. And I'm quite happy just to have 100 and just pick out the ones that I probably don't play and change them with a new game that I've never played as I go along. But yeah, that's it. But before I go, Revival, this weekend, you've got to go guys, because there may not be many revivals coming up in the future. I don't know, we might take a break, because it is logistically a nightmare to organise all these machines and stuff like that. So get yourself to Revival. Just go onto Facebook or Google Revival 2019. I'll be there for Saturday and Sunday. I'm taking Sky Skipper. I've got a load of my arcade friends. They're all bringing cabs. I know Martin's bringing a Bronze Age section with some really cool old Bronze Age games, black and white games. I know my friend Roger's bringing some games as well. I don't know if he's bringing ice cold beer or not, but yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. And for all you YouTubers that are going to be there, just come up and say hello, or anyone, just come up and say hello guys. I'm going to have a lot more time this year to chat and have a drink with you at the bar and just chat about anything games and whatnot. It's going to be a right laugh. So I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. If I'm not round Sky Skipper, I'll be playing a game or I'll be at the bar. So just come up and say hello guys. It's going to be an awesome weekend. I can't wait. So that's it guys, until the next video, which will be my Super Nintendo video, which will probably happen on Monday or Tuesday. Because of Revival, I'm not going to be able to record it on Sunday, so be a little bit behind that one again, I'm afraid. But here you go, you can't have everything guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys.